Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Hamilton Park in Sligo, a very windy Hamilton Park. It is Connacht Senior Cup final day. I'm your match commentator, William Davis. I'm with my summariser, Alan Deegan. The pitch is behind us. Both teams have done their warm-up. They've been using the artificial surface behind us, and then they've been out for a bit of a look, Alan. The wind is going to make a major contribution to this game.
It certainly is, but it's a wind coming directly across the field. It's not up and down, so it's directly across the field. I'm expecting to see a lot of play on the far side of the field because it is very, very strong. So it will have an impact, but it'll be interesting. But it is not going to favour either team.
Yeah, of course, we're very close to the Strand here. One of the ends is called the Strand End, so it's coming straight off the Strand. But the rain is holding off. We're told it's going to get a little brighter as the afternoon goes on. Alan, the Senior Cup has been played for since 1896. and it's been played 102 times in that period. There were certain periods when it wasn't played.
Yeah.
One of the things that stands out, the first ever game in the Senior Cup was Sligo against Queen's College Galway.
Yeah.
Queen's College Galway won it in 1896, so then therefore they must have beaten Sligo. There's no idea on the result, but they did.
Yeah.
Look, it's a competition with a lot of history.
Oh, huge history, and it's so important to the history of Connacht. It's so important, as you say, it wasn't played at all times, but the thing is, it's still there. The thing about Connacht, the thing that identifies Connacht, both at professional level and especially at the amateur level and where we are now, is the resilience of all the teams to keep going and keep playing and keep the spirit of rugby alive in the west of Ireland, because it's quite a difficult place to play rugby, as we're finding with this wind that's howling in from the east. And
the situation is that the teams wanted this game played today, so they decided there wasn't room in Dexcom Stadium for it, so they tossed a coin and Sligo won it, so that's why it's been played in Sligo. It's not a case of you get home advantage. It's normally played on a neutral ground, but I mean, these sides know each other well. They play at all sorts of different levels, and we're on a grass pitch today.
Yes.
And there's a decent crowd getting in there, huddling in the stand across. Who do you think is the favourite?
It's very hard to tell. You'd assume Sligo, although they play in the division below Bucks in the AIL, but they're in the playoff positions at the moment, so they're looking really good for possibly jumping themselves up into the same division as Bucks. But unfortunately, Bucks aren't going that well so much, so it's hard to tell. But I would have said probably Sligo.
Let's have a look at the teams as they line out. We'll start with Sligo. I'm nearly going to say the home team, but they're not technically, but they kind of are. 15, Evan Brown. 14, Finn Bamber. 13, Ethan Faitua. 12, Ryan Feely. 11, Philip Carter. 10, Julian Leskovic. 9, Brendan Cunningham. 1, Matthew Early, the captain. 2, Benjamin Hines. 3, Thomas Gormley. 3, Archie McLean, the vice captain. 5, Gary Duffy. 6, Brian West. 7, James O'Hare. 8, Ambrose Bamber. And the substitute, 16, Kuba Vojkovic. 17, Kieran Cummins. 18, Dara Byrne. 19, Robert Tiernan. 20, Hubert Gilvary. 21, Cathal Finneran. Head coach is Paddy Pearson, and he's helped with his assistant coaches Jan Ogden and Jason East. Now Buccaneers, 15, Stevie Mannion. 14, Leo McFarlane. 13, Shane Layden. 12, Tom Shine. 11, Yishai Avramahi. 10, Mickey Hanley. 9, Frankie Hopkins. 1, James Kelly. 2, Oisin Dolan. 3, Martin Staunton. 4, Fionn McDonnell. 5, Fergus Galvin. 6, Gavin Daly. 7, Cathal Walsh. 8, Ryan O'Mara. 16, Dylan Bulger. 17, Cian Daly. 18, Finian Murray. 19, Harry Hughes. 20, Luke Balsiger. Head coach is Paul Byrne, and he's helped by Davy Henshaw and Benny Gilligan. Of course, Davy Henshaw will be keeping an eye on the international this afternoon, somewhat after this, but I'd say all his attention is on this. The referee is Andrew Fogarty. Assistant referee 1 is Kenneth Lockery, and assistant referee 2 is Dara O'Loughlin.
There's some really interesting names in there. I did a little bit of background on some of them. You've got an Israeli international playing for Bucks in Avrahami, who's on here on a scholarship but has played for Israel, and then you've got for Sligo on the bench you've got Kuba, who's Wojcicka, fair play, Kuba Wojcicka, who's actually Polish, currently playing in the Six Nations. I think it's the C division of the Six Nations for Poland. Was playing there last week, so it's fascinating to see people from all over the world playing rugby here. And you also have the Argentinian out half, Julian Lesvestny, who's got Polish roots as well. So it's amazing to see when we're up in the west coast of Ireland, on the very north, or on the northwest coast of Connacht, players coming from all over the world who want to play rugby here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go back 100 years, it's a very long time ago, but Sligo reached 3 finals in a row.
Yeah.
22-23, 23-24 and 24-25. Unfortunately, they lost all of them to what was then University College Galway. But maybe the point of that is that what were the people who were there that day 100 years ago? I don't even know the dates, but maybe we'll say it was 100 years ago today. We could be right or wrong, but would they think in 100 years' time that people would still be coming to the Senior Cup final? In those days, they were played in the grammar school in Galway.
Yes.
Grammar school pitch. And if you want to know where that is, if you know where Dexcom Stadium is, if you can imagine directly behind the Greyhound stand, which is now full of housing and some very big bed and breakfast operations, that was the playing pitch for the grammar school. That's where it was played, because the sports ground wasn't built till the early 30s. So there's a great history here today. We're just about ready to get going. The Sligo are defending the strand end, so they're not playing with the wind, because it's straight across the pitch, as you can hear.
Sorry, that's Bucks played.
It's Bucks, sorry. And then Sligo are down, sorry.
Queen
they're
Maeve
at the Queen Maeve end, apparently, named after Queen Maeve, who's buried allegedly in the mountain behind them. And I hope that wind isn't too distracting for you. It's distracting us a little bit here. The referee, everybody, I think all the players are sort of, once they've stripped off their kit, they've probably realised just how windy it is.
And cold, and it's incredibly cold for this time of year. Like it's I think the wind chill factor is in close to zero, so we're pretty wrapped up. But hopefully we're going to get a good game, because both these teams like to play rugby. Both these teams like to throw the ball around. So I'm expecting a good, open, flowing game of rugby, even in this wind.
Well, let's see. Stevie Mannion for Buccaneers has the ball in hand, and he's going to kick off. We'll see how far this goes. It takes a fairly direct route down, and Sligo get a hold of that, and they get the clearance kick in.
And you can see that would have went into touch usually, but that wind's kept it in field.
Yeah, absolutely. Picked up by Avaraki, and he's got a kick across the field, and that suggests that the cross kick is the way to go here.
Yeah, except he's kicked it dead, because again the wind took it, and it looked like a beautiful kick, but the wind took it and brought it straight into touch. So it's advantage Sligo in this situation. And so we've seen two kicks now that have been quite badly affected by the wind. One should have went to touch and didn't. The other one did go into touch when it shouldn't have.
Went too far. So they're going to have to get used to that fairly quickly. Benjamin Hines with the ball for this line out directly across from, we're at the camera side of the ground, so that's directly across from us. He's got a 6-man line out by the looks of it to deal with. He's got his calls in, and it's collected and brought down. Sligo in the first opportunity to get into the Bucks half, driven up by a 10, Lezinski again. He's out, and he's found Cunningham.
Well, that's excellent retention of the ball from Sligo. They're getting over the gain line on these early hits.
Yeah, it's good field position already for them. They've got it moving there through Hines, the hooker. Swapped out the back. Two centres coming through. Ryan Feely involved. And the referee.
Oh, illegal clear out.
Was he clearing out past the last player maybe? Not sure.
No, he used his shoulder rather than didn't wrap his arm in the clear out.
Maybe a little bit of a let off.
They've got it moving there through Hines. Sligo looked very good there. And those initial things, they looked very. They were taking a man off the ball. There you go.
Yeah, McLean, the captain for Sligo, just asking for an exact representation of that. And that ball
wind.
Nearly went over the touchline down in front of us and then blew back infield. It's going to be some afternoon here. Stevie Mannion gets on it. His kick is blocked down.
As he kicked.
Kick blocked down, so Sligo beavering away, the ball on the ground, but recovered by Bucks. And they probably want to actually drive up and get a bit of get their hands on the ball.
Yes, they need to settle down. They seem a little bit. Oh, well done. Sligo settled much better in the start of this game.
Yeah, these sort of conditions can be very unsettling for sides. It's just you don't really know what's going to happen. So keep the ball in hand. Mannion again, the 15, drives up. He's got good support there. And the scrum half clears it out. That's Hopkins. He gets it away. And Bucks have gone through now, but now they look for a kick. It's a little chip kick down the middle.
Excellent.
It's picked up, driven through, and that's well played. That's good use of the ball. Another kick down.
That's a cracking little kick. That's a really intelligent kick from the scrum half, Frankie Hopkins, because there was nobody covering for Sligo there.
Ethan Faiatua, the outside centre, tidies it up, and Bucks have themselves a penalty, and that came from a really clever that's the sort of kick you need, because the defending side, they're going to be struggling to pick that up.
Well, this is it. The Bucks tried to make 1, 2 or 3 runs, didn't get anywhere, and then decided to go to the air. First little chip kick from the scrum half was an excellent little chip, or from the out half was brilliantly picked up by Shane Layden, who then set it back, and the scrum half saw the gap in behind and made great use of it. So it was really clever play from Bucks. They looked a little bit iffy at the very start of the game, but they seem to have settled in now.
No score. We have just about 4 minutes gone here. We kicked off about 2:01. Obviously the referee in total charge of the clock today. There's no clocks, there's no stoppages,
no TMO,
and there's no TMO, so he has to make all the decisions with his 2 assistants. Attacking line out for Bucks here. They've gone full. It's tapped by Sligo, and then it's knocked on by Bucks.
But I would have thought the first knock on was from Sligo in the line out.
I think so.
But I
think it's...
Yeah, he's given it to Bucks. I think he's given it to Bucks. I'll have to look at his signal to see.
There's a change there for Sligo. 17 has come on. That's Cian Daly. And that's a very early change. Somebody has come off. He's jogged off very quickly.
That's the man who got warned.
It's the number 4...
Fionn MacDonald.
Sorry, that is...
Sorry, apologies. Archie McLean.
Yeah, it's Kieran Cummins. It's come on. Sorry, I got my teams mixed up. It's Archie McLean is the guy that's come off. Okay, that's an interesting one.
Former Curry from Scotland. Man from Scotland from Curry. So I don't know whether he took a knock.
It's a very Scottish name. Maybe he did take a bit of a bang.
Seems okay.
The referee has awarded the scrum, and Sligo have got away with it. I thought there was an original knock on, but it's back with Mannion at full back. He's up to the 10-metre line there. Again, that ball probably went a little bit further maybe in the kick. It's just going to be so hard to judge.
It is, because it is a pretty vicious wind, and it's very cold as well, so their handling skills are quite good considering the weather that we have out here today. Oh, that's off the head.
It's come off, so it's recycled by Ashraf-Vili, and as you can see, passing the ball is a difficult option as well, because it's swirling around here. If anything, it's getting stronger.
Oh, we got an injury.
The referee's going to have a look at this. I think that might have been the player who took the ball in the head, or was he caught as it was clipped through?
No, it hit Sligo head, but I think he got munched in the tackle as the man went, and he caught it. It's the 12, is it? Yeah, he got caught by the tackle.
That's Tom Shine.
It came off his head. The ball came off his head, so it wasn't a knock on. I think it's actually easier to pass into the wind than it is with the wind.
Yeah, because
we're seeing it that as they come this way, it looks a little bit more fluid, whereas it goes the other way, the ball is getting caught on the wind.
Yeah, well, there's no shortage of wind. That's all we can say. You can probably picking it up in the our microphones here. It's a blowy afternoon. It's no score. We're coming up to 9 minutes gone on the match clock.
Well, Bucks have definitely settled a bit now. They looked as though they were a little bit out of kilter at that very start of the game. They looked like a team who are struggling as they are in the AL this season, but they've settled down now, and you'd expect them to sort of kick on. They'll need to make use of this bit of pressure they've got. They've been in the 22 once, haven't got a score. They're now in the Sligo half, so they'll need to get a score on the board at some stage. Away teams have to score when they're in the dominant part of the game. Get scoreboard pressure as well as just field position and territory pressure.
Frankie Hopkins to put the ball in. Bucks won last year's final between these two teams, so they hold the cup.
Yeah. Actually, I was looking at since 2016, the winners have been one of these two teams.
Yeah,
that's a huge scrum.
It's a massive push there. There was almost a go and a stop and a go, and
that's huge. That's a massive scrum.
That's a statement, isn't it?
It's a huge statement, and it'll let them decide how they're going to play the game now. If they know they can hammer Sligo in the scrum, they'll be looking to get more and more scrummages and put them under a lot more pressure. Interesting they didn't go for the posts, but then again, it is a dodgy enough wind.
I think
from that distance,
from that distance, you'd want to be nearly in the 22 for the post. Stevie Mannion with that kick, he's got it down about 4 metres inside the 22 across from our position here, and after the start that they made, Sligo, they've been doing a lot of defending here.
they haven't had the ball since that early start, since they gave that penalty away. They really haven't had the ball.
Dolan with a good throw in, gets the ball moving across.
Oh, it's not, what a tackle.
Hard tackle, and that's got the ball through. And now the wind whips that ball downfield. Mannion having to track back. He's been chased by the scrum half, and that's, well, he's made sure, but he hasn't got much distance in that. Brendan Cunningham and Finn Bamber putting the pressure on there for Sligo.
Yeah, it was a huge tackle put in by Ryan Fahey, who's one of the vice captains, and Ethan Fayatu has come up from New Zealand this year with the new coach, and you can see why he's brought him up. He hits like a train.
Yeah, he certainly did. This lineout we're nearly standing in the middle of the lineout. Actually, it's that close to us here. It's
I'm
Sligo.
We're going to get hit by the ball at some stage today, William.
Benjamin Hines with the throw in, and it's hits one of the Buccaneers' hands, but it's picked up and taken away and fed into midfield. Cunningham, the scrum half, bucks up hard in the tackle, but that was a bit lucky for Sligo, but they've recycled it and they've got it moving, having to work quite hard. They're being hit at the gain line here pretty hard.
Some good play, great hands, some lovely hands again.
There's no doubt about it, both sides are trying to play some rugby even in these conditions.
I think that's a penalty for a high tackle, I think, because the referee's got his back to us, so I can't quite see what the signal was.
I think it was a 10
a high tackle.
It was a 10 Julian Lezeski who was tackled, and this is an opportunity for Sligo to get down, and they're 15. Puts boot to ball, and he's got quite a bit out of that kick, and he's got it about 3 or 4 metres inside the 22. That was Evan Brown.
Yeah, and he actually started 10 in the final last year, so it's moved back to full back. So effectively you're playing with two playmakers, which is interesting. So Sligo's first visit to the 22. They've held Bucks out on Bucks 2 visits, so it'll be interesting to see if they can make their pressure count.
Hines with the line out, 5-man. A lot of movement in there, but it is taken to the back by Ambrose Bamber.
Yeah, the referee didn't like that. He's given a penalty advantage to Sligo on that one. Might
have been taking the man in the air, so there's a cross kick there from Lewitt. The 2, and it's Mannion collects it well. Sorry, that was Faiatua. That was a clever move. He had a free play on that, didn't he?
He did. And again, you want to be doing that. You want to be putting your odd kick in, because both sides are playing a rush defence, so you want to make them think about it. So you do that by kicking and looking for space. But some super coverage there.
Stevie Mannion he didn't panic at all. But that could be a way forward for both sides in these breezy conditions, or more than a breeze.
The pitch is in beautiful nick.
It's in great nick.
It's proper soft, not too soft, just the right level of softness. For
good to yielding, as they might say. Good to yielding, as they'd say in the racing fraternity. That's an overthrow. It's picked up, and Bucks clear their lines up to the 22.
It's good work from Mushy and Dowling to hold on to that ball. There's a break here if they move it.
Coming through on this side. Coming down right on top of us here. Mannion pulled down. He's about a metre away from where we're standing. That's a good pass infield, and Bucks are sort of trying to get a bit of width on this. They've moved the ball across to the near side here. Scrum half digs it out. Hopkins. That's another kick through again, and that's going to bobble into touch.
Yeah, I think he was looking for the 50-22, but it didn't quite make it. They're taking a quick line out.
No, ref's not having that. By the looks of it, the touch judge has got his flag up. It's about 2 metres outside the 22. 2.5 metres. That was a 50-22.
That was a 50-22. Yeah, because this is a very small pitch. It has to be said, because I'm looking at it. It really is a tight pitch. So there is, that 50-22 looks as though it really was possible and really on. And again, clever use of the wind, because he was kicking with the wind. Wind brought it in. I think the reason that he wouldn't let that quick line out was they took it in front of the mark.
Yeah, you see all sorts of things with quick lineouts, don't you? Sometimes you see players getting away with things.
Other times you don't.
But fair play, they got that done right. Bucks with the lineout throw. That's a better effort for them. It's picked in the middle by Gary Duffy, and they drive it up and over the 22. That was a bang-on throw from the hooker, and needed to be.
Yeah,
defensive
Phil
line out.
McDonald's putting massive pressure on there at the 2, and it's a clever thing to do in these windy conditions. Put your 2-man up and put that opposition hooker under big pressure. That's a cracking kick.
Ooh. That could. That was the Bucks players come out of that the worse. I think.
Looked all right to me. I think it was they both went looking for the ball.
They both looking for the ball. They both had their eyes firmly on the ball. Very clever kick.
He stopped to watch, I think, for this injury.
Yeah. So no score, and we're just coming to 16 minutes on. I was going to say the stadium clock on the ground clock, but we have to accept that the referee will be making his own decisions about time. So
yes, well, he's just. I don't know if he did tap his watch.
I'd
there,
say
so I'm assuming he's stopped the clock on this situation. But it's an interesting game at the moment. The quality is the cold and the wind is having an impact on the game, but there's some really good handling.
Yeah, there is. Now both sides here are at it, you would say.
Yeah, they both want to play. They're both trying to play, and they've tried different things, and they've given themselves opportunities. But both defences have been on top, which again you expect early stages of a cup final. You expect the defences to be that little bit stronger, but as the game moves on, they start to tire. You should see a few more holes appearing, but it's certainly been an interesting 15 or 16 minutes. With I suppose you'd slightly favour the fact that Bucks have been in the Sligo 22 a couple of times, as Sligo only been in Bucks 22 once. The wind really is directly across the field, but it's sort of. No, I was going to say it was in Bucks' favour, but it's not. It's directly across the field, so it really isn't favouring anybody.
Okay, we're ready for the scrum now. Gavin Daly's got his boots sorted out for Bucks, and teams have had a little drink and a bit of a think.
Yeah, he had a bit of a knock. I think he was slightly winded there from that.
I think he was.
It'll be interesting to see what Bucks can do with this.
Yeah, they drove hard at the first scrum, and we'll see if they go again. They're about 2-3 metres inside the Sligo half, and they're about 8 metres in from touch. Referee's having a good look there. We're looking straight down the tunnel here. It's the number 9 Hopkins.
Sligo. Well done.
Yeah, they held tight there.
But their players there.
They got caught. That's a clever cross kick. The player going for it falls over, slides.
It's going to be a Sligo ball. Yeah.
That was Avrahami. He just got got caught under him there.
Yeah. He slipped on the, as you say, going to soft or going to yielding. Was
good
it?
To yielding ground.
Yeah. Yielded a bit too much for him there. But again,
it is good. We're going to see a lot of that. It really is a play in these conditions.
Yeah, I think so, because both sides are using that rush defence, so there isn't much space to pass the ball in. So what both teams are doing is trying to expand the game a little bit and make the defences think more. So it'll have an impact as the game goes on. Hines
has the ball in hand. He's got a 5-man line out. Scrum half is the standard receiver. He takes the ball from a nice pass off the back. It's gone through there. That's Fatahua. But again, Bucks defence up really quickly to smother that out. But Hopkins recycles it from the back. They're turning that ball over well, but they haven't really made any yardage off that line out when now they've got a bit of space.
Knock on, was it? Oh, that's strange. He's called it back for a penalty for Sligo when Sligo were through. Maybe there was a knock on or something and he had to bring it back.
Well, maybe the player on the ground, he sort of felt he was... I don't know.
We don't have the joy of replays.
No, that was...
and we're at ground level, which is making it kind of awkward. I don't know if people realise that. We're standing on the touchline. We're only 3 metres from the touchline.
We're nearly in the game. We might well be. If there's a silence, folks, we might be sprinting away from a player coming towards us at high speed. That's a good kick from Brown. He's got it down to the 22. So Sligo turning the screw a little bit here. They've had a few penalties. They've got into the 22. The last line out down here was an overthrow, so they'll be hoping to get this more accurately and get themselves with an attacking opportunity.
Yeah, second visit to 22, which puts them on level par with Bucks, who've been in the 22 twice as well, so it'll be interesting to see if they can make anything of it this time.
5-man line out again.
Wow, it's a lot of dancing.
There's a lot of dancing around, but in the end it's picked up by Ambrose Bamber. He was the recipient, and they're getting a drive on, but it's going more across field. They're trying to recycle it out the back.
Got it now
they've got it moving forward again, and Sligo driving. Little snipe off the side by Ryan Feely. this is a real opportunity for them. They've ball here.
If they're patient here, they can get it. Winger's calling for it. He knows he's got plenty of space over here, but it'll be a dangerous kick to try and kick it across against this wind.
Yeah, that might be a sort of a last. At the moment, they're sticking very tight to the forwards. They're working hard, driving through. They're 3 or 4 metres short. He tries to place it.
Like he was in, but
he just
was right there. Ref was right there. We have to trust him.
Now the feed is out. One more pass. Oh, it's a wind, and he's throwing it into touch. It went.
Wasn't. Ethan Fayatua, I think he thought they've taken a quick touch and they're gone.
Well, there you go. That's a clever idea to get the ball away from their area. And back to collect it is Ryan Feely, and Sligo have to start again. That pass gets caught in the wind, and there's a knock on by Finn Bamber. Your passing has to be harder than that in that wind.
It does, and I think they also need to stop trying to go for the miracle pass. There was 2 miracle passes. I think if that ball had gone through the hands, they had it 3-on-2. It just needed to draw, pass and draw, pass and draw, draw and pass. Sorry, draw and pass, draw and
pass.
But
did he just see the player in space and thought I have to
space and thought I had to do it, and he threw it a little bit stronger because he was throwing it against the wind, but it just a little bit too high.
I think in the under-20s game last night we saw Finn Tracy get it right.
Yes.
Drew the man, got the pass, whereas he could have let it go too early.
Yeah.
It's microseconds.
It is.
But that just drifted, and you could see the winger watching it and realising he was going to go into touch. This is a put in for Bucks. They are 4 metres short of halfway. They're right over. They're about 15 metres in, 7 metres in from touch, and it's Frankie Hopkins has it. And that goes down. The referee's going to ask them to reset.
The pitch seems slightly softer on this side of the field because they're not having that trouble on the far side. So there's obviously a little bit more give here than there is. They're cleaning their boots.
Bit of stud clearing going on there.
Yeah, a lot of stud clearing happening now at this stage. But it was good defence from Bucks up there at the same time. Like Sligo were doing well. They were holding on to the ball. They were recycling really well. But Bucks did really well to hold on to keep them out and to drive them back and force the mistake. And then they forced a second mistake, which has given them the opportunity to clear the lines, because I'm assuming at this stage, when you're inside your own half, you'd be looking to get the ball down the field.
22 minutes gone here at Hamilton Park. No score in the Senior Cup final for 2023-24. Hopkins to put the ball in for Bucks. Bucks get a bit of a drive on here now. They are driving forward, and the referee's in. So, and Hopkins goes himself. He's picked it up. Referee's not going to let him do that. That was
ahead of the mark. He was ahead of the mark when he took it. Yeah.
But we can see that he can actually hear the referee. The wind blows ahead of the mark. Yeah. But Bucks, that's 2 out of 3 scrums they've won a penalty on, and that's Sligo just got caught there once they were moving.
Yeah, Sligo are doing well because they're actually getting much lower, but Bucks are a bigger pack, and so what they're doing is they're waiting for that second drive, and once they got everybody in position, you can just see the power coming through from the second row. But they didn't get much distance.
Distance, but he made sure it got into touch. It didn't get whipped back in as we saw one earlier.
Absolutely.
So this is Oisin Dolan to throw in. He's going to have 5 man. And it's intercepted. Nice interception by Sligo. Throw didn't get over the first jumper, and Sligo are moving it upfield and into midfield. That's a hard tackle coming in there. It's number 6, Brian West is tipped.
Called it a dump tackle. That's a couple of Bucks are, they're a couple of dodgy tackles now. I think the ref might have a word with the captain at some stage, because you can't be tackling like that the way the game is these days.
No, you
need to be looking after players. You can still hit hard and do it quite legally. So
it's a high raking kick, but it's Evan Brown, but it doesn't make touch. And the clearance kick down, and he's up and he's nearly got it to halfway, and that's a fine effort by the scrum half for Buccaneers, Frankie Hopkins, who collected that. And that just shows you how difficult it is. I mean, he gave that a big thump, but from midfield, he couldn't get it over the touchline. And as you say, it is a very tight ground.
It is. It's quite a tight. I've lost his number. Sorry, I think Brown was looking for a bit too much out of that. He tried to.
He got it way up in the air.
Yeah, and he wanted the wind to do it. The wind didn't quite take it as far as he expected.
The wind is very capricious today here. It's changing direction. The one thing you can say about it is it's blowing consistently. We have
No, that's
Sligo,
much better. Sligo
good
line
lift.
really got
they're
going now.
They're into midfield, but then the pass bobbles away and it's knocked on.
Yeah. I tell you what, this ref hasn't missed anything.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't missed anything. He's having a cracking game.
Yeah, that's Andrew Fogarty, and
yet again, it's another slight over elaboration of what Sligo were trying to do. I think if they kept it simple, like if you looked at that first 4 or 5 minutes when they got possession and were driving up the field, they were keeping it simple. They weren't looking for these dummy moves and over the top passes and whatever. That's 3 times now they've tried to do a miracle type pass, and nobody took control of it. I think they just need to simplify their game plan a little bit.
Maybe to make more allowance for the conditions, because the ball, when it comes out slowly, if it's a sort of a it's you can see it bobbling in the air, so it's the pace
affecting the flight of the ball. So it'd be interesting to see what
Brendan
they can do
Cunningham
here.
with the put in here for Sligo. Now will Bucks turn the screw? Here we go. Bit of getting to know each other a little better, some of the players there, and maybe warm their hands up. Yeah, and the referee's has he called out both captains?
Yes, interesting. Matthew Early, captain of Sligo, is plays in goals for Leitrim, GAA. Plays for Leitrim Gales. So
okay, well, they'll be coming up in the Connacht Championship soon. That starts in April. It's all different now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's bananas.
Starts so early that Leitrim will be back in action. Now his mind today on something completely different. Sligo with a put in.
Yeah,
Cunningham again. Bucks are getting the screw on here. They need to pick it up.
That's great pressure from Bucks.
Bucks again. It's just picked up at the back by the 8 Ambrose Bamber, but he wasn't able to find his scrum half. But now he has, and they've tidied that up really well, Sligo. They drive up over the 10-metre line, and that's what you have to do in these conditions when you have the ball. That's Cunningham again.
And again, look, they're looking for these little chips over the top. Oh, that was unlucky.
Yeah, they just you think eventually the space will pick up, but it could go back the other way. You kick it through like that, and Bucks winger picks it up and away he goes.
Well, I think you're looking at a situation where if that ball had bounced towards us rather than the other way, the winger was gone. Yeah, he was in and done. But again, it's as much a case of swapping people or making sure the defence has to think about what it's doing.
Harry Hughes comes on for Bucks at 19, and the 11 Yeshai Avrahami has gone off.
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't straight. The wind grabbed that one a little bit. Well, actually no, it couldn't have done because he was straight into the wind. I just did a crooked throw.
Well, even in this wind is so strong coming across the field, it could actually, I don't know which way it's going to go. I know we're referring to it all the time, but it is making these conditions for these players very difficult.
And it's an unusual wind because it's an easterly wind. It's not something you normally get, and certainly players wouldn't be, this home team wouldn't be used to the wind coming off here. If you can see the far side of the pitch, it's got trees, it's got the little bit of cover in there because that's where the wind normally comes from. And there's absolutely no cover because we've got 2 pitches behind us. So it's got plenty of time to pick up speed as it comes off the side of the mountain, and it is having an impact on the game, and neither side can grab any sort of control. Like, and what most of the game has been played between the 2 22s.
Picked up at the end. That's better, stronger scrum by Sligo. Bamber picks up, feeds his scrum half inside.
He's made
Cunningham,
great ground.
and now they're driving through. They've got the drive on. Ethan Fayatua in the middle of that. Cunningham again finds the 10 Lazinski.
Great hands, Lazinski. I like he really is beautiful the way he passes the ball.
No score. Coming up to 30 minutes gone here. The big forwards looking for the ball. It's come through again from Sligo, and they are inching forward here, but the ball being slowed down. Buccaneers working really hard at that breakdown. Now they've got a bit of an overlap if they can let it go. They have the numbers out wide.
Oh, good defending from Buccaneers. That was really good defending from Buccaneers to stop Sligo making use of that overlap. But they've got it now. No, that could be a yellow card.
I'd say that was a deliberate knock on. Yeah, I think that's coming, and it is. The referees called that as deliberate. It was an inside pass from.
Well, the question is, will he give it as a penalty try? But there's no TMO to talk to.
I don't think you can. He's having a chat with his linesman. It's hard to determine. They're a fair way out. The yellow card has come out for number 9, Frankie Hopkins,
and the penalty try.
And he's given the penalty try.
Yeah, I think that was coming. When Sligo can't hold on to the ball and run with the ball, as I said, they kept it simple there. They didn't try and make it too elaborate. So that's a penalty try. And I think Sligo just about deserved that. You're looking at a situation where I think they were in. I think the winger on the far side. Hang on a second.
Winger on the far side there probably was, and
well, he was passing. He was trying to get a pass back on the inside. So sorry, Finn Bamber was trying to bring it back into Brendan Cunningham, who would have scored, but his opposite number, Frankie Hopkins, knocked the ball down, and now it's a big ask for Buccaneers to get back into this game. Being down to 14 men is hard enough, but being down to 14 men without your scrum half makes it even harder.
Yeah, I'd say they'll be playing very much for try to get to half time with no further issues.
Yeah,
and then go again. It's
you'd expect Sligo now, because I think they've seen if they keep the ball in hand, that's where their real threat is. And they have some beautiful players. Levineski's has thrown some great passes out there, and when he keeps it simple, they look really, really good. There's big numbers here on the left here for Sligo if they want to move it. No, they made a mistake. They crashed it up, and now Bucks have got the cover.
No, they're sort of moving up and getting it away, and it's right down in front of the wing here in front of us, driven through. That's Bamber. He's crashed into one of the Bucks players, but picks himself up, running back. It's tidied up by Leo McFarlane.
High tackle.
He's not allowed up, and that's got a relieving situation.
Yeah,
7-0 Sligo lead here in the Senior Cup final with that penalty try. Of course, you don't have to convert penalty tries anymore. You get the 7 points.
Yeah,
so
it was unlucky from Bamber. Bamber actually played for Connacht Day against our Connacht Eagles. He had Munster at the start of the season. He's only a young fella. He's only 20, but certainly the speed he showed to get after that ball was very, very impressive. And to take down a winger the way he did, he was just unlucky. I think the winger slipped. Because he slipped, the tackle went high.
Bucks have only made 4 or 5 metres from there. He's kicking into that was right into the teeth of the crosswind.
To be honest, I'm not sure why they wouldn't try and kick it across the field. Like, why wouldn't you? The wind is so strong. A really decent kick would have got them to halfway on the other side of the field.
Oisin Dolan with a throw that's gone over the back.
Wow,
Sligo that went
miles,
almost right into midfield, miles, but Sligo have fallen on it, and they've got their Cunningham gets it away from the base of that area. That went nearly right halfway across the field. That shows again this crosswind here. 7-0 at Sligo lead. Bucks probably down to half time with 14 men. It's a big hard tackle up there. Sligo are gone again.
Oh, that's a superb cover tackle.
Brilliant cover, but the referee's got his penalty. He got his arm up for a penalty, I think to Sligo.
A high tackle again, is it? Again, he's got his back to us, so I can't see the signal that he's after giving.
Well, we're also blocked off slightly by the Sligo forwards who are making their way over there at their own pace. And Julian Lazinski has the ball in hand, the out half. It is the width that's causing. It is width.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
width. It's asking Bucks the problems. They're struggling with that width. But in the next half, they will be playing with whatever you want to call this wind that Sligo have, and they may be in a better position. It's just very hard to describe what that's doing. They've kicked it into touch.
I'm not sure it really is favouring Sligo in any. It's just ever so slightly, but I wouldn't have thought it's huge. I think what Sligo are doing is realising that if they hold on to the ball and play it, they've got some superb backs.
Collected inside there by Gary Duffy, and it's crooked. That's why it was collected so easily by him. He got plenty of height, but it was. That's just,
well, Bucks are doing a really good job putting huge pressure on the Sligo line out. And again, the way the wind is blowing is, again, it's very unusual to play a game where it's blowing so straight across the field. So on this side of the field, they're having to ease the ball back because it's going too far. On that side of the field, they have to give it a bit more zip. So it's quite difficult for the hookers today, it has to be said. But that's a let off for Sligo.
Scrum half is Bucks, off, so the 14 Leo McFarlane has gone in to put the ball into the scrum, and he's put it in and been hooked, and I think he's getting a bit of a call there, and that's the fullback Stevie Mannion, and he just wants to get that ball down the field, and he's got it down to within a couple of metres of the 10 metre, and it's a fine relieving kick, and that's what you need off that type of scrum.
It is, and you're looking for, to keep it on if you've got your winger playing scrum half, like he is a former Connacht under 18, but even so, I'm sure he wasn't a scrum half at that level. You still want to give him the easiest pass possible and get the ball out of the danger zone as quickly as you can.
7-0, Sligo 7, Bucks 0. 35 minutes gone on the stopwatch, but there have been a few stoppages, so the referee and his assistants will be watching that.
But it really is Sligo's game. They're completely dominating at this stage. They've got the extra player. Oh, that's a beautiful move. Oh, that's some great passing going on from Sligo. They're trying to pull out all the tricks now.
Driving up just short of the 22, but they have got width on it again. Fullback Stevie Mannion, fullback Even Brown making good yards there. Cunningham, scrum half.
No, he's calling. He wasn't first man in. Yeah, he wasn't first man in. Bucks are doing everything they can to slow the game down.
Bit of panic there because they actually had slowed that ball, and then
Tom Shine wouldn't take his hands off the ball. That's classic backs not realising that they've got it wrong. A back row would have realised he'd done enough to slow the ball down and he could let it go. But backs aren't quite used to doing that type of play.
Shane Layden down.
I speak as a forward.
Now this is a day for forwards. You'd say this is boots and all rugby weather. And Shane Layden down, getting a bit. Ooh, he didn't look too good. He was out of the physio. Asked him to pull up. Physios, of course, not very sympathetic in these situations. They just like you to do things.
They want to test to make sure how far it is that there's a problem. Like he's an ex-Connacht Academy player from, it's a good 10 years ago, maybe more at this stage, but it was class, but injuries were the things that stopped his progress.
Physio's not sure.
Trying to stay on.
Both sides having a long...
No, he's coming off. There's a man getting changed.
I think
he's had it.
I think the physio said he's gone, and
too happy.
He doesn't look like somebody who's going to be coming back.
It was just one of those innocuous things where I think his leg got caught on the ground. Very unhappy sitting back down. Sat down,
but the physio's called it. So Evan Brown at 15 slides the ball off his boot, gets it down to within a couple of metres. We're going to have to step out a little bit here to see a little bit more.
Don't go too far.
No, don't worry. I'll don't worry. I'll be out of the way, and you can take the tackle, Alan.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm worried about the headphones.
Okay, we're blocked off a little bit here, but it is a throw-in, and it's about 5 metres, 7 metres from the, maybe even 10 metres from the line. But Sligo not contested by Bucks. They've sort of sacked that, but it's fed out across, driven up by Brian West for Sligo. And then the scrum half is right in on top of that. Cunningham, he's sort of running the game for them now. He's making these decisions. And they got the ball. They've got players running. That's Finn Bamber coming in off his wing, looking for the ball in midfield. Bucks having to work really hard in these tackles here. They've been asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, holding on in the tackle. Not sure why Bucks are in such a hurry to get the ball. I have to say, in this situation, when you're down to 14 men, you should be taking your time. Let them hold on to the ball. Let them take their time. Another couple of substitutions. These are rolling substitutions.
They certainly
I'd
are.
Forgotten that you do
they're
rolling.
Yeah, Archie McLean, the vice captain, back on, and
that's down for an injury. We've got an injured player, so he's on for a man who's down, struggling
a little bit. He's had a good rest. He went off very early, didn't he?
Early, yeah.
But that would suggest that he is going to have real work in the second half.
You would have thought, and also the man who came on from Kieran Cummins has been an excellent man in the line-out, and maybe they looked at the early problems in the line-out and thought they needed to get it fixed then.
Well, that's what you need your sideline team for, to make the decisions. That's a mighty kick down, bouncing.
That's a huge kick.
That's a massive kick.
Yeah,
and that's
Gary Duffy's come off there for Sligo.
That's gone through from Mannion, and
that's huge pressure.
Is that a 50-22? He was in his own half when he kicked.
It was a penalty, remember. It was a
penalty, and of course he hasn't quite got it into the 22. It looked like it was going to bounce in again, but the line out will be to Buccaneers.
Yeah, Gavin Daly and Carl Walsh in the back row are having mighty games for Bucks, and they've really stepped it up in the last few minutes, down to 14. They're making up for the fact they don't have a scrum half.
Line out goes all over the place, and it's picked up by Sligo. It's the hooker floating, Benjamin Hines, and he's got made,
he's
and
away.
now Sligo are away.
Look at that again. You're looking at Walsh getting himself back. You're looking at the back row, and they've got an advantage, I think.
One of the substitutes who's on there drives up. That's Kuba Wojcinska, the Polish international. His first action. Evan Brown puts the kick through, chased back by one of the Bucks substitutes, Harry Hughes, but I think he's going to come back for the penalty. And at the moment, it's all really going Sligo's way there, and it has to be, well, from my viewpoint, Brendan Cunningham at 9 is making some really good decisions.
He is, but he's playing the pack, giving a good, beautiful, clean ball. A lot of the time, Bucks are struggling. Get every second or third ruck, Bucks make a bit of a mess of it. But when it's quick, Sligo look really, really good. But the reality is they've only scored 7 points in this sin, but they need another 7.
Yeah, they do. They got a penalty try around the sin binning. It was Frankie Hopkins went off for a deliberate knock on, and the referee and the assistant determined that it would have been a try. And Evan Brown again kicks for the corner, keeps it low, drives it into the 22.
Could have got a little bit closer, I would have thought, but he's got the win with him.
To say maybe it was a little bit closer, but that's the thing. The last thing you want to do is
kick it
dead.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw that last night again in the under-20s game at Bath. I think both sides did it once, just with the strength of the wind there.
Exactly.
So he's done the right thing, and their line-out's working well.
Much better.
Nicely picked. Referee's given that a go. That's McLean, the 4, who's just come back on, and Sligo driving on. They're driving hard.
They've got everybody in there now.
The ball carrier is at the front.
There's only 2 backs left out in the back line.
It's a penalty, so they're playing this on an advantage. This is a free play for Sligo, so we get closer and closer to half time. Now the referee's decided that that's not coming out of that.
But I wonder if he's going to give another yellow card, because that was going over the line. So he's giving them a chat.
He's giving them a long discussion. Who was involved?
But when the line out first went, a Bucksman went to ground straight away, and Sligo kept on their feet. So it was 2 attempts to take it down. It's really impressive from Buccaneers to. Oh, they're going for a tap. They're going for a tap.
Okay, they're going for the tap. Sligo. Here they go. They're driving forward. Sometimes these work and sometimes they don't.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's Wojcicki.
Brilliant.
We just get the number as he comes up, but I think that's the Polish international who's come on. It is Kuba Wojcinski, or Wojcickos. I hope I've got his name right. Well, last week he was playing in the C division of the Six Nations, and now today he's in Hamilton Park, and that's the score that Sligo needed just on half time and in the yellow card.
Exactly. And you're looking at a situation where they took the tap penalty, they drove left, and it's a classic move. He was standing on the open side, went onto the blind side, and you're not going to stop a man of his power and quality from 2 or 3 metres out.
Nicely worked move.
Yeah, they've no tee.
Well,
does the 90 seconds rule work at this level of rugby?
I don't know. 12-0 Sligo lead. We're actually now in referee's time.
And there's a bit of that. I would have thought there may be 3 or 4 minutes of referee's time. So
Evan Brown is. This is the first kick at the post. It's going to be fast. I won't even try to predict where this is going to go.
Well, I assume he's going to have to kick it well past the post and let the wind bring it back towards him.
He's going to have to kick it past the right hand upright as he's looking at it, and then see if it drifts back in. This will be a good one because he's right nearly on the touchline. He's maybe 1 metre, 2 metres in from touch. He's on his way.
Oh, he's done it, has he? Wow.
Oh, that is some kick. That is a fantastic kick in these conditions. And 14-0 Sligo lead, and now it's a hard ask for Buccaneers. That yellow card has cost them
half time.
And the referee's called that as half time. Well, that is fair enough.
That was a fascinating half of rugby. It got better as the game went on, and certainly Sligo got better as the game went on after early pressure from Buccaneers, where their pack drove Sligo off the ball on a major scrum, and then got 2 attempts in the 22 to score, but good defender from Sligo and a bad line out throw in this this tough wind eased the pressure for Sligo. But I think Sligo have learned they've kept the ball in hand. When they do that, it's far more effective than their kicking game. And then their pack has suddenly got on top. Like that was a cracking driving maul that gave them the penalty, which then they scored from with the beautiful reverse pass to Kuba as he drove over the line. So you're looking at it's you can't see where Bucks can come back from here. They look like a team who've forgotten how to win again.
Yeah, they do look a bit. They've had their moments. There's no question, but Sligo have just made maybe the better decisions. And we first score was the 30th minute. It was a penalty try when the Buccaneers 9. Hopkins was sent off for a delivered knock on, and that was ruled that they would have scored a try.
I think they would have scored a try.
Yeah, it did look like it. It did look like
the winger had taken the ball on. The Sligo winger, Finn Bamber, had made an excellent break, and on the inside he had Brendan Cunningham supporting him. He drew the man, passed it in, but as he drew the man,
the
his
hand came out. It's very difficult to stop it. And then off the substitutes bench, the reserve hooker Kuba Vakovic, I think I have it, Polish international, playing Six Nations rugby this time last week. Probably be a bit warmer and less windy where he was. And then Evan Brown, what a kick! Now that's the sort of kick that wins your matches, because it just the opposition kind of going, come on. I mean, how
because even if Bucks score twice, they have to kick two conversions in order to get there, and then they're still only drawn.
Yeah, but second half is to come.
It is,
and we're going to see how it goes. As a moment, we'll just take a little break here on our stream. We hope you're enjoying the coverage here from Hamilton Park in Sligo of the Senior Cup. We are at half time, and unlike in the professional game, everybody's staying on the pitch. And I think the referee will probably be saying, right lads, make it nice and quick. But we'll take a minute or two and we'll pick up again. But at half time here in the Senior Cup final, it is Sligo 14, Buccaneers 0. Welcome back. As I suspected, the referee kept that half time pretty short. He wants to get it going again because the players are going to get very cold just standing around. Second half is underway. Sligo lead 14-0. They've kicked off, and we've a knock on by, or is he? No,
he's taken in the air.
He's taken in the air, so we have a penalty, and Bucks are moving it as fast as they can. They want to get out of there. They probably need to start this half very quickly. They've had a tough last 10 minutes. It was very even until the Hopkins yellow card.
Penalty,
and that made a huge change to the whole thing, because there was a penalty try off that, and then Vachitska in for his try, which was brilliantly converted by Brown, and that gives the 14 points to Sligo. Buccaneers on halfway.
I think Brown's gone off because Hubert Gilvari's on the field, so I can't see. Well, I have to wait till the numbers turn around a little bit. But
No,
like
I'd say that's just a temporary sub, maybe. These floating subs come and go in this. It's sometimes almost impossible to keep track of them. We're lucky that we're this close, but they sneak on and off. Bucks driving up over halfway, trying to get themselves on the front foot. Hopkins is back from his card.
And they've suddenly speeded the game up. They're playing at a much higher pace than they were in the first half.
No, it's hard to work out if that's wind related or not, but their
centre partnership is phenomenal for Sligo. They really are stopping anything that comes their way.
Yeah, that's that's Ethan Fayatu, the 13, and Ryan Feely, the 12.
There was crossing there.
Stevie Mannion
decided not to.
Bucks have been in possession. Sloppy, slow, difficult pass to pick up. And that's...
Oh, what a pass. Oh, that was a phenomenal pass. Brilliantly taken by
we've really mentioned him as Hanley. They come up and Bucks have spread it out wide. That might have looked a little forward, but it isn't. And
game has increased in quality in this start of the second half. It's as though that short break was just enough for them. It was a very short half time.
James Kelly, big prop, drives up for Bucks, and it's a little stab kick through from out half, and it's gone back behind the goal line, and Sligo have decided to pick it up and go, and they've got the penalty for not releasing in the tackle, I think, and that was probably a decision to kick that ball through by
yeah, I'm just waiting to see if I can see what the ref is talking to the scrum half. I'm not sure if it was a high tackle.
It's
high tackle, yeah. Another high tackle from Buccaneers.
Yeah, and that's Hopkins. He's had the yellow card as well.
Yeah, he won't want to have it go again, would he?
He just needs to. Well, he doesn't want to get another yellow card because that'll be a different colour.
Yeah.
Refs.
I think the refs having a discussion about how many times Bucks have tackled high, because that's at least the third, if not fourth, tackle that Bucks have given away a penalty on a high tackle. Brilliant little break from Gilvary. He was academy player last year.
Yeah, well, that's why I suspect he has maybe come on just to speed the game up a bit. But, you know, Evan Brown has done his job for Sligo. They lead 14-0.
But I'm surprised they're taking him off. His kicking has been excellent. He's been kicking all the line touches. So, I don't know, these rolling subs, it's obviously a different way of looking at the game when you can roll people on and off. Maybe they feel that they want a different threat at full back. Want more of a running threat, because definitely Gilvary looks as though he's the type of player who wants to run and move the ball. He actually scored a hat-trick for Sligo Grammar in the Senior Cup final 3 years ago.
I think I saw that. Pretty sure I did.
Yep, probably did. So
probably in the pouring rain. It always seems to rain on Schools Cup final day, and the forecast this week is for rain, because on Wednesday there's 4 finals at the sports ground. 2 of them are being streamed on the Connacht stream that you're with today. And it's really Athlone versus Sligo, because the Junior A at 3:30 is Marist College Athlone versus Sligo Grammar, and at 6 o'clock it's the same 2 teams in the Senior A final, Marist Athlone versus Sligo Grammar. So we're continuing that theme, because effectively today it's Athlone versus Sligo again. So
it is.
And tomorrow, Junior Cup semi-finals, Buccaneers have an opportunity to get into the final. They're playing Dunmore in Dewberry Park, and Connemara are taking on Castlebar, so out in Monastery Field. So the thing is, Buccaneers are involved, and of course they won the 2A last week, beat in a really decent game of rugby, which kind of got overshadowed by the fact that the Connemara Craigs game was off the scale crazy, 36-33. Wow. But it was a good win for Bucks, 29-20 over a very decent Ballinasloe side.
Right.
Now that's been a long little delay, so I got the plug in there. So if you want to watch those schools games, they're both streamed on the same basis as this one is being streamed. We hope you can join us for that. And the kick is away and down by Sligo, and it's disappeared over the roof of the stand, so we'll have to find another ball. Little kid's gone off to get it.
No, they keep throwing balls out here. Levineski's taking the kick, so Brown has definitely gone off, because Levineski took that kick. It's the first time he's taken a kick to touch.
Well, he certainly seems to have a bit of a boot on him, doesn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, he was playing in Argentina last season. He came from Doncaster Knights a couple of seasons ago, so this lad knows his way around the rugby world.
Line out. Yep, missed throw picked up by the Buccaneers hooker, Oisin Dolan. Yeah, it's a tough day for line-out throwers. Bucks looking for width here, working the ball through the hands. That's Harry Hughes driving up for them. Met by a wall.
For a high tackle. It didn't look too high to me. The Bucks are not happy with that.
No, he has
half knocked it on. It looks.
Yeah,
didn't see it myself, but obviously the ref was that little bit closer, although we weren't that far away.
No, I think we could, but we certainly wouldn't.
No.
Get involved in refereeing the game, though we are about 1.5 meters from the touchline, and it's happening about 6 meters away from us.
Right passes nearly get stood on. That's the hooker's gone off.
Hooker's gone off for Sligo. That's.
Oh, I see Cuba move into hooker.
Yes, I think he's covering both places.
Yeah.
So this Polish international, multi-talented. It's going to be Brendan Cunningham with the put in for Sligo. It's getting a bit darker here. It's getting a bit colder. We'll just keep away the rain till the end of this game, we hope.
Yeah, just looking behind us now, I can see. I think we'll get away with it. It's certainly darkening up all right, but I think we might get away with it. I'm not sure Cuba is a hooker though, is he? I think it's. No, can't quite see. We're so close to the ground, we can't really see what's going on. No, he's not. He's still he's packing down on the loose head side. Oh, it's a great scrum from Bucks. Good recovery from Sligo.
Yeah, it's good work. Very good work there. And Cunningham's away, the scrum half. He's going to come. Well, we thought it might happen. I was going to say he's going to come through the commentary point, and he certainly did. At a rate of knots. But
first tackle I've been involved in for a number of years.
Well, I'm glad to say Alan was standing up there. I was running in the opposite direction.
Well, I didn't have too far to go, but anyway.
But we're back in business, and
it was only a scrum half who tackled me.
Yes. And my binoculars did bounce on the ground, and we're in good form.
And I did lose my headset.
And the water bottle and everything else. Well, there you go. We said we'd be in the thick of it, folks, and we certainly are.
Absolutely.
I'm not as quick as I used to be at getting out of the way, is all I can say there, Alan. No.
Well, I was about to call the offside because definitely the Bucks scrum half came.
Good man. I decided discretion was the better part of valour. I decided just to get the hell out of there. Okay, let's get going again. It's a Lezinski, the 10 for Sligo, and he takes the kick and he gets it down. That's a good kick into the 22. So Sligo are on the attack with an attacking line out.
Yeah, he was playing for Club San Martin in Buenos Aires 6 months ago.
Okay. I would suspect it was somewhat better conditions in Buenos Aires. Cracking city. Love their rugby in Argentina. Santi Cadero, of course, on Connacht's books, still injured. Hope he gets back soon. Sligo get that line out. It's a good line out. And it's crooked again.
It's a crooked one. I was wondering why it was so good.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's you would think
it's a nightmare for Scotland. It's a nightmare for hookers.
It has to be the wind because these players are better than that.
Oh, they are. But as I say, it's this wind that's coming directly across the field.
So it's right
on the far side. They're thrown into a breeze, which is effective.
And when they're on this side, they're throwing with it.
They're throwing with it, and so
it's right behind them.
Absolutely,
it's nearly impossible.
It's really tough to control it today.
Hopkins about to put into this scrum when it sets. So Bucks will have an opportunity to clear their lines here. You feel one more score for Sligo will,
just finish it off. Bucks had to come out firing, which they have done.
But it's Sligo have upped their pace as well, and the changes they've made, particularly Lezinski now kicking from 10. Clever moves by their pack. Sligo driving on, but Bucks into midfield, get it away, and
they tried to run it. They've knocked it on.
No. Okay, referee's decided that he's not allowing the advantage there. Was there another knock on? I didn't see.
Well, that's the second time he's done that today. It's about the only thing I'd sort of question about it. He's been very, very good on practically everything today, but that's the second time he stopped play where the advantage was with the team who were getting the scrum.
Unless there was a second defence, but I think Sligo, but they're not complaining because they have a scrum 5-6 metres inside the 22. nearly right in the middle of the field. They're just to the right of the right-hand upright as they're looking. They're at the Queen Maeve end of the ground, as we're told. Buccaneers defending that in the second half, and the Strand end at the is the end that Sligo are attacking from, and I hope those are the right ends, because I asked what local.
End, that's the Strand over there, yeah.
Yep,
and that's
certainly
definitely the mountain where Queen Maeve is alleged. Oh wow, that's a hell of a scrum from Sligo.
Yeah,
and they've got the penalty.
Then
I would be kicking this one if I were them. They're not that far from the post.
No, you think, but I bet. Well, Lezinski has.
Yes,
he's going to go for it.
Sense.
Why not?
He's directly in front of them. And this has come from the fact that because Bucks are 2 scores down, if they were only 1 score down, I guarantee you that last line of where they won it, they would just hoof the ball down the field. Because they're 2 scores down, they felt they had to run it
to play,
and then made a mistake, gave away the scrum, and as I say, it looked like Bucks looked like Sligo had done a beautiful little kick through from Ethan Fayatua, but ref decided he wanted to go back for the knock-on. But a massive scrum. A couple of substitutions they've made there have made an unbelievable difference to their scrum.
Yeah, they've upped the pace there, and the way the game has gone for Sligo, you just feel that what they've tried has worked.
Yes.
Whereas for Bucks, it just hasn't quite come off for them.
Yeah, you're looking at a team who are near the top of their league in Sligo, who are, I think they're just outside or just on the verge of the playoff.
Of course,
positions.
that is a league
division below. But even so, if you're playing winning rugby,
winning in any sport is a fabulous habit.
Exactly.
I think they're looking for
3 games this season in the AIL. Now, admittedly, 2 of them were away from home.
Yeah.
But they look like a team who are just lacking that little bit of confidence. There's another injury.
It's another injury. I think the referees.
This cold weather. It's at this time of the season, players are starting to.
It's March, Alan.
It's March. The season's almost
over. It should be
over.
Spring.
Yeah, I know it should.
I can assure you, it feels that if we said to you this was a day in December, you could have a nicer day in December up here. We've had a lovely welcome from Sligo here today, and we're all set up, and it's going to be the Argentinian 10, Julian Lawazinski,
with a
Polish background. Argentina, country of many diverse peoples, absolutely soccer mad, but I'll tell you, rugby gets a good go. He's driven that, and it's straight between the posts, and you feel now that this is starting to drift Sligo's way. They lead 17-0.
Yeah, 3 scores now is a massive ask for Bucks.
And we're just coming up to
there's no energy coming off our bench even.
14 minutes gone, second half, and
it's all about what happens in the next 5 minutes as to, will Sligo just shut the game down? I'd assume they get this ball, they just put it back down the field. There's no need to play any rugby here. Of course, as
you say that, the number 10, Lawazinski decides, yes, I'll have a little go here, why not? Good pass back.
Actually, it was Fayatua.
It was Fayatua, sorry.
Yeah,
and the 10 decides to put the boot through it, gets it down over halfway.
More rolling subs going on. They happen at a rapid basis here, they really do. Bucks have made a substitution. 30
minutes, penalty try puts Sligo 7-0 ahead. A yellow card for Hopkins, the Buccaneers scrum half. Right on half time, Wacinska, the Polish international for Sligo, crashed over. Brilliant conversion by Brown from the touchline. That was 14-0. And now the number 10, Lawazinski, the Argentinian with the Polish background, has kicked a penalty from straight in front of the posts. 17-0, 15 minutes gone in the second half.
Great defender from Sligo. You can really see it.
Yeah, they're up for it.
Looks beside it. They've got the crowd behind them now as well.
They're right up for it. They're right into it.
And the body language, you can see it. They're bouncing up from tackles. They're getting in. They're getting themselves stuck in. Or Bucks feel as though they're just going through the motions now at this stage. I think they feel that they've lost this.
Dara Byrne, the 18, has come on for Sligo, trying to keep track of these subs. They're not easy.
No, 16 for 2 for Bucks there a couple of minutes back.
And number 6 has gone off, which is Brian West.
And again,
line out, bobbling around, and it's Sligo who tidy it up.
They managed to win it in the end. It was their ball, but it wasn't the cleanest in the world.
Driving up. Bucks try to hold them up, but Sligo get it to ground. They're feeding it out there now. There was Inski, and that's found us a lovely pass out and it's back in field.
Ref has called it forward.
I
thought it was one of those ones that went backwards out of the hand but drifted forward.
Well, Hubert Gilvary involved there with Carter, the number 11. Again, they're looking for the width. They're
flying. They're absolutely bouncing. They've been trying to play this sort of rugby all season. They've scored a huge. I think they've got 7 bonus points. Like they're scoring tries like nobody's business, and you can see why. And that's very commendable considering where they play, because we're just looking behind me. You've got Ben Bulbin in the background, wind comes shooting off there. You've got Strandhill, you've got the waves. Some of the biggest waves in the world are down in that
they are.
way.
That's one of the and the other thing, of course, imagine trying to play golf this afternoon. I think sure there are people at some of the courses around here. Ross's Point, Strandhill drive by Sligo.
Wow.
They've
driving upwards.
No, refs decided
Sligo he reckons that was illegal scrummaging, because certainly the hooker went straight up in the air. You can't drive upwards, you have to drive straight. You got under the man, lifting up in the air. That can be quite dangerous, but it was safe enough in the end. But I see that the new hooker for Bucks,
that's a decent kick down, and he just got enough height, and at one stage it looked like dodgy. It might be about to fall directly into. I can't actually see who that player is. I can't get the number for him, but it got away from it, and that's what they have to do. The easy kick was to this side, but that was.
I said it in the first half.
Yes.
Why weren't they using this wind to use to get the ball?
Yeah.
If they got a big enough boot, you can get to space. And so, rather than in the first half when Sligo were doing it, they were only 5 metres in front of us. Now Bucks are into 22. Score here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still plenty of time for Bucks if they can get a score. If they can get committed to that little loop round move there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's got space through. Ball is bobbling up.
He's gone. Oh, that's some brilliant. He's in, yes.
Yes, he is. Super try. That's great work by Harry Hughes, just as we said it. One penalty, kicks it to the corner.
The 22. It's the first time they've made it into the 22. First try of the day for Buccaneers. Beautiful line out, absolutely beautiful. And when they get quick, clean ball like that, they made a cracking move. They had some beautiful hands from Mickey Hanley, who then passed on to Tim Shine. He made a beautiful break and then popped it over the top for Jason Nagel to pick it up, who's come on the field. And
it's Harry Hughes got the score, wasn't it?
Was it? No, I thought it was number 19. It could be. I might be wrong, but I thought number 19 scored that.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got it. Oh, they've changed names. Right, my team sheet isn't quite as up to date as your team sheet.
Well,
apologies, but that's a cracking score. Get that? Missed the kick.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but it was a difficult one. But at least they've got something on the board, Buccaneers,
and it'll give them something to play. They've got absolutely no pressure on them now at all. They're not expected to do anything here, but 19-5 brings them back into the game a little bit. Oh, more substitutions coming on. No. Well, there were supposed to be substitutions coming on, but they didn't make it.
Sligo kicked that off a little short, and they've got free play. They got it into the 22. They picked that up, but they've knocked it on, so it'll be a defensive scrum for Buccaneers. That was a clever kick off. They were just trying to catch them on the edge there.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I thought I saw an extra player arriving on the field for Bucks.
Yeah, they're making the changes. They're bringing players back on, obviously, for this defensive scrum.
Some people, not certainly number 21 went on. I didn't see anyone come off, but I think they must have it right. Yeah, more changes going on. Rolling subs, I'm not a fan of, and especially when we're standing at pitch level and we can't really see what's happening. They're just running in front of us. There just seems to be a stream of players just running back and forward in front of us.
17-5.
That was a clever kick-off from
It
Sligo.
Was a very clever kick-off for Sligo. It didn't quite work for them because they knocked it on, but they did get possession.
Yeah, they certainly did. I can certainly Lebedeski is he's one lovely player, I have to say. He's been very enjoyable to watch. That's a good kick.
That's a boot to ball kick, and that's a cracking kick down again. He's driven it up and over halfway.
Sligo ball, but it's it takes the pressure off Bucks and it puts them in the right end of the field. The pressure lineup's been a bit of a lottery all day, so why not put it into touch and see if you can get the ball back, because they've shown if they get the ball they have the backs to make big dents into this Sligo backline. Something they weren't doing in the first half. And it's obviously something that they talked about at half time, because they've definitely tried to play a lot more rugby in this second half.
Certainly have.
They've lost the ball. The ball's gone into the garden. I think they've run out of rugby balls, and no one comes on the field.
Yeah.
The crowd have gone quiet. It seems to suddenly the temperature, the pressure's changed. You can feel it.
Yeah, you can. A little bit of nerves in the air, maybe for the locals, because most of the fans, certainly on the far side under the cover, are supporting Sligo. There's a few Buccaneers fans behind us here. Sligo just about get that win. And they need now to control these next few minutes. That's what they'll be looking for.
Well, this is it. Again, what I'd be looking for, if I'm Sligo at this stage, I'd be looking to get the ball out of there and put it down the field. Make Bucks try and score from their own half. But then again, they're piling forward, so why would you take the ball out? They're after making 7 or 8 metres there.
They've gone up and over halfway. This is a good drive. It's getting very scrappy now, but they should have the ball. Yeah, there. Well, that's a decision by Sligo. They needed to get that ball out.
They did. That's what I wanted. But that's brilliant work from Fergus Galvin, who got himself swam through the middle. You're also looking at Dylan Bolger got involved there and managed to hold on to the ball, because it was a maul when it went to ground. Sligo lost the ball because they didn't make use of it. Again, personally, I would have taken that ball out and put it down the field. Now you've got a situation where you've got a scrum in midfield, perfect opportunity to
get a penalty.
Make a break. Well, first of all, get a penalty with your scrum, which has been doing well, but scrum in the second half has been better for Sligo.
It's been very even. I mean, I think both sides have sorted it out, but if Bucks get a penalty from here, they can kick the ball down and get a line out with their put in. And as you said, it has just got a little twitchy here. 17-5 Sligo lead, but Bucks have controlled the last few minutes. 23 minutes gone second half. Now Sligo get the drive on, but Bucks have picked it up and gone. Hopkins feeds it out.
Hands, Bucks have it. They're making that's more like it. I think they've realised they can run through this Sligo backline.
It's Luke Balsiger makes the ground there, and we're going to get a card. The card for Sligo.
High tackle.
Well, there's been a few of them for both sides. And that is Julian Lezinski, who's gone off the 10. So now,
and I think that came from about 5-10 minutes ago. The referee warned both sides that there were too many high tackles, because we brought scrum halves in, and that's the first high tackle since then, and that's why we've got a yellow card. We haven't seen one for Sligo, but that makes things very interesting.
Well, this whole game has changed on its head. You feel now that Bucks have 10 minutes here to try to make hay, especially with your 10 gone.
Yep.
And
so who's going to manage the back line? Bucks already shown that their backs can do real damage when they get good ball, so it's up to the forwards to get them some good ball.
Dylan Bulger's going to throw into this line out. It's as we've seen nearly all afternoon, it's a 5-man line out. Hopkins the scrum half, he finds midfield, and now they're trying to get width on it again. He works the loop round.
Well, that's good defending though. That's good defending from Sligo.
Sligo working hard in defence now. Of course, Bucks in possession. This is the longest period of possession really in the game that they've had. They've had a good 10 minutes. They're still 12 points down. That's Balsiger.
Oh, great hands.
Gets it out and wide. He's made a difference since he's come on the 20.
Yep, he certainly has. You're looking at you. That's Harry Hughes.
Okay, I have him as 19, so that's causing a bit of confusion.
Apologies,
folks.
Jason Nagel then is 20. Oh, they've knocked it on.
And Sligo will get the opportunity to clear. It's hard graft for them now. They've got to dig in. They're down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes. They have got a 12-point cushion.
But again, I'd be in this situation, get the ball down the field. Stop trying to play rugby.
I'm already on the back foot because they're coming over here. I remember the last time they came over here, we were involved with the play. But it's gone back into midfield again. Good 7 or 8 phases here, and then the spiral kick away.
If it goes in.
And doesn't let it happen. Doesn't let it happen.
He hasn't made he got away with that. The wind brought that. That looked like it was skewed off his boot, but the wind brought it back into touch.
It was a good attempt at a 50-22. Nice spiral kick.
Yeah, it was. Some great cover. Some beautiful cover from Jensen Nagel. If I have my team sheet changed over now. But yeah, Sligo are playing a lot of rugby. I think they're playing a little bit too much rugby down to 14 men. I'd like to see them kick the ball a little bit more.
I think the issue for them possibly is they feel that they have he was their kicker, but the other issue is they have control of the game when they have the ball in hand. When they kick it away, it drifts. So it swings and roundabouts.
It is indeed.
That's
a shocker of
it's a shocker of a line-out ball. It blows crooked, but it's okay because it's Buccaneers. I think this wind is getting up even more. Good tackle. Good tackle.
The wind would have been gone if he'd given it.
Hughes was away there. Sligo not over-committing to that, so Bucks are able to recycle it fairly quickly. Fergus Galvin involved for them. It's an intercept try and Sligo away. The interception has come. And number 5, Gary Duffy, is in under the posts.
Well,
Buccaneers tried to move that. Mickey Hanley tried to move it, but the 5 grabbed it and he went like lightning down. Nice dive in under the posts, and you would have to feel now that is job done for Sligo.
It certainly is, and that came from the fact that Buccaneers had the ball, but the quality of the tackling from Sligo, the power that was in the tackling, was putting Buccaneers onto the back foot. So they tried to get on the front foot. And this is the difference when you're playing on the front foot. You hear people talking about, but what's the difference? That's the difference. A pass is forced, it allows the defending team to judge and see have they have the opportunity to steal the ball, and they do. And so you're looking at Gary Duffy, who came up from Galwegians last year. He'll really enjoy scoring a try against Buccaneers, and that's
Gilvary with the kick
in that scenario. So you're looking at that should be game, set and match at this stage. And like, fair play to Buccaneers, they've come out and they've tried to play rugby in the second half. They've got a good try. They made a bit of a game of it, but Sligo are the dominant team. They've weathered that storm that was going to come at some stage, and I'd say that's more or less it. I can't see them coming back from here.
It'd be very difficult to see them coming back. The one thing, of course, you would say that's score down to 14 men. It's even worse.
Absolutely.
But it was just a well read, and he was intent on getting.
That's a great kick.
That's a fabulous kick, but it's knocked on. No, they've got the penalty. Take it in the air. He's given it as a taken in the air situation. 22-5 Sligo lead here. We're in minute 69 by my stopwatch, which of course means nothing because the referee's in charge, but
you could probably add 2 or 3 minutes to that.
You probably can, but you'd have to say that we're in the
into the last 10
Buccaneers
minutes.
Need to score next.
Yes,
and they need
do.
7 points realistically.
Yeah, if they have any chance. But they more or less scored from a similar position. If I remember rightly, the last time they took a penalty from here, they kicked it into the far side and managed to get the score. Because again, remember, passing into the breeze is much easier than passing with the breeze. So it'll be fascinating to see if they try and kick to this side of the field, which they're closer to.
I think they'll go for that. They're very close to this side. It's going to be a difficult one to make a decision to
great kickoff, by the way.
Across the field. Yeah, the kickoff's been a lot hung in the air. Yeah, old style kickoff.
Yeah, it was.
Allows both sides to compete. Yeah, Stevie Mannion's
because he made some good distance on that.
I'm glad you think it's dying, Alan.
Well, no, I'm only saying, like, it definitely, maybe it was just.
Well, he only got it to the 22, so he didn't really get much distance. It went a long way, but it crossed the plane of the line. So, attacking line out here for Bucks. Really, last chance saloon for them, you feel. And it's tapped in the air, and Sligo collect it and drive it up.
Huge game he's had in the line out, and he's had an intercept as well.
Yeah, he has, and that's the sort of thing that breaks your heart when you're trying to get back into the game. And the opportunity now to clear it, and it goes back to Evan Brown for Sligo, and he puts boot through it, so he's come back on, I think, at 15.
Yes, yeah. I think Gilvary's gone to 10. I think with the fact that they lost their out half, just swapped players around.
Julian Lazinski, who is probably about 6 minutes into his card. I wonder, will he come back on, or will his day be done?
Just looking down, he's standing on the sideline here looking a bit annoyed, so I'd say he'd want to come back on.
He wants to come back on, yeah. Of course, you want to be on the field maybe when you get the job done.
Yes,
Bucks,
exactly.
Get that line out done and get the ball into midfield, but again, the tackling coming up again. That was Cathal Walsh coming up to make the tackle for Sligo, and that's huge for them. They've been really working hard here this afternoon. O'Hare in possession for Bucks, trying to get it going. Mannion
Yeah, they needed to get the ball in his hands a bit more. They just haven't been able to. Mannion's.
Ambrose, Mannion has looked good on the ball a couple of times. He hasn't seen much of it.
Super tackle.
Yeah, the tackling by Sligo, that's committed, it's hard. There isn't an inch being given, but the Bucks again going quickly. That's Hopkins. It's got messy, but the referee said it went back.
That was a late hit. It was a late hit there from Sligo on the Buccaneers winger onto
14. He's gone down, and the ball is it's got very driven back. Bucks now in the desperation phase. They're really trying hard. They've got a penalty. They've worked the penalty. They're going to need to stand and defend this. Yeah, they've taken it quickly. Got the 12 into possession.
They need to keep it going.
That's
Tom Shine. Have the extra player, so they want to make best use of this. They have to score next to have absolutely any chance of a possibility
Mannion
of something happening.
Sligo's defence has regrouped and got moving again.
I've been really impressed with Sligo and their tackling today. They've been very accurate most of the day. There's another super tackle. Oh man, you're looking at, for me, Ryan Fahey. He has been fantastic at inside centre. He's been absolutely like a brick wall.
He hasn't missed a tackle, has he? And his decision making in the tackle's been excellent. Little kick through, looking for the cross kick, picked up by Sligo. But it's actually bobbled into the hands of Buccaneers, and they're still driving forward here. They're desperate to get this score. They're 22-5 down. And it's another interception.
Oh, but he was offside. He was offside.
I think he was rather in the wrong place.
Possibly a yellow card in my book.
Yeah, Hopkins, the scrum half, possibly asking the referee about that.
There's Gilvary looking for it. Definitely was in an offside position.
He was, but sometimes you get away with those when if you can get away really quickly. But no,
like Bucks were never scoring.
No,
but you're still you're halting the play. Like Bucks have been piling on the pressure there for the last 5 or 6 minutes, playing the game at a high pace, which has obviously been stressing Sligo, who are down a man, and they wanted to keep it going. Tap and go.
They're tapping and going. It's the number 1, James Kelly. Oh, you can feel the contact from here. But it's fed out across.
That's a great pass.
That's a lovely opportunity and
that's a super pass.
Lovely try by the 15, and that has just given Buccaneers a toehold back in the game.
Well, I did say that a couple of minutes ago. They needed to get the ball into Mannion's hands a bit more often, and now he's after going and scoring the try. But that was a fantastic pass from Frankie Hopkins. Took out 3 men with that one bullet pass across the field. And Mannion has been their most dangerous player in attack all day.
Hopkins or Mannion?
Mannion,
yeah.
So, yeah, this is it's a very difficult kick, but we saw Evan Brown manage it in the first half. So
yeah.
If they have any chance of even the slightest sniff, this has to go between the posts.
It's on its way. It's gone very high, and it's over.
He's got it.
That's an excellent kick by Mannion.
All right, the sin bin must be over. Lewaneski's back on, if I'm saying that right. Lesinski.
24-12. 73 minutes stopwatch time.
So we're back. Sligo back to 15. They gave away a score there, so it's 24-12. Yeah, it's probably a little bit too much for Bucks, but you never know. You never know. Both teams getting tired now, so there might be space.
Could be a 10, 11, maybe 12 minutes to go. Lesinski goes long with that kick. It's driven back. Yeah, Sligo have plenty of players
good
back.
Defending from Sligo.
And he's got a pass line inside. Bobbled into midfield. It went backwards.
Pick up from Gilvary.
Referee reckons.
And there's Gilvary showing out the side steps. Oh, wow, he's got some feet on him.
Cross, Sligo. 12 points ahead. About 7 minutes plus injury time left. They feel
good hands.
Yeah, they're working through now. Every pass takes a second. It runs this clock down. Mannion again. That's Brown. Sorry, it was Brown. Got my 15s mixed up. Gilvary's upset with that because I think he saw the pass coming back into him and he nearly had a clear run to the line. Bucks' defence was a little bit slow getting across there.
It was again because and coming from the fact that the one thing Sligo have been doing really well all day is getting over that gain line on a regular basis, and that's why they're winning the game. They've won the contacts more often than Buccaneers have. Now, the few times Bucks did win the contact, they got their couple of tries. So it just shows you the importance of winning, the simple part of the game. 1-on-1, you got the ball, you have to get past your man or get through the man as best you can. But it's been a far better second half than the first half.
Yes, certainly has.
The quality's been way higher. Both teams have upped the pace. Both teams have got used to the wind, I think.
Referees decided the free kick, so they've taken a tap pose and knock on. He's overstretched it. That's Ethan Fayatua is coming through.
Another penalty
to Sligo, and they should kick this. They lead 24 points to 12 here.
Yeah.
We've got 76 minutes on the watch, or on my stopwatch, which the referee is not paying any attention to, which is entirely fair. He's got his own watch, but they're
going for the posts.
Yeah, you would expect them to.
Makes it a 3-score game. That's why you do it.
Yeah,
It'll
absolutely. You do.
Deciding to kick it, because Brown looks as though he's coming up to kick this one.
Yeah, Brown is back on, so maybe he is he's the regular kicker. Yeah, well, Lazinski, that was an easier kick that he had.
Yeah.
Brown just on the 22. He's just to the right of the uprights. He's got the ball lying very flat. Now, with this wind, anything could happen, but there's nobody anywhere near it to hold it for him. And this is to seal this Senior Cup win for Sligo. It would put them 27-12 ahead over Buccaneers here. He's on his way. He's driven it. He's got a lot of height. Yeah. The flags go up. And you can hear a bit of noise. The Sligo faithful over in the far stand.
Yeah.
And
that's definitely it. There was some again, the pressure on Buccaneers to try and get rid of the ball, and some brilliant work from where's he gone? Sorry, my team sheet's got blown a little bit there. Apologies. From Ethan Fayatua to show what Kiwis do with the ball. They seem to be able to react to breakdown situations more often than not. Another super kick, just goes 10 metres. That's a brilliant play. No, he's gone. Sligo breaking out again.
Picked it again. That's the number 5. He's the man. Gary Duffy. He had the breakaway try in the second half. The interception. Little chip kick through. Good work by both sides there. Picked up by Bucks, for a good tackle by Sligo. They're on the 10 metre line. It's getting very dark here is the next issue, but we will get to the end. There's no lights on this pitch, so
but I'd say
if it went much longer, we might have been starting to struggle.
Yeah, exactly. And
even with the
threat of wind, of rain, on this wind,
there certainly is. Even after our 2 o'clock kickoff here, Bucks trying to get something, but you feel now it's only going to be a consolation for them. The pass bobbles out from Hanley, the 10. They drive forward, and Sligo really just need to keep making their tackles, and now they're up again. This is Gilvary with the headband.
He's got
He's a lively player, and he has got good feet.
It's a great pass.
He's got a great pass out, and it's fed down. It's the 21, and it's the opportunity for them.
He's going all the way. We're getting blocked now by
that's Cahill
Finneran.
The
Sligo bench are in my way. I can't see what's happening. Sligo still
right on the goal. It's right on the goal line. So Sligo, Gilvary acting as scrum half, fed out. Brown with a little chip kick across. Yep, picked up. Slip over. Yeah, the good to yielding ground gets him.
And then held onto the ball in the tackle. He got tripped up by a blade of grass.
Yeah, unfortunate that. The ball is booted away, but the referee's not happy with that. He wants to sort.
I think Bucks wanted to take a quick one because there was nobody back covering. But I think they took it in front of the mark, and that's why he's brought it back.
We're at the
Sligo player down on the field on the halfway line.
It's a Bucks player down, actually.
Bucks player, sorry.
Yeah,
I assumed it was Sligo.
There's nobody touch judge is coming to have a little look at him. He's put his hands up to suggest the ref's time to stop the clock till we see what this chap is doing. We'll run through the scores because we're nearly on 80 minutes. 30 minutes were scoreless, and then a penalty try. Yellow card for Frankie Hopkins, the Buccaneers 9. As a part of that, 40th minute, Polish international Kuba Wojcicka got in, nice move off a drive-in maul, reverse pass inside. He drove over Evan Brown with a fantastic kick from the touchline. That was 14-0. That was half time. First score of the second half was a penalty by Julian Lezinski to make it 17-0. Hughes then got a try for Bucks, and they had their best part of the game. That was 17-5, but an intercept try by Duffy, which Gilvary converted from in front of the post to make it 24-5. Mannion, probably the best attacking option we saw today for Buccaneers at 15. He got a fine try, 73rd minute. It was beautifully converted by him, also from the touchline, 24-12. But then Brown with the penalty in the 78th minute to make it 27-12. That's the score we have now. And we are effectively over the 80 minutes, so we're in referee's time. He's just had a fair stoppage here. We could have 5 minutes left. It just depends on what he wants to do.
Still an injury going on there. The player's just about got up, managed to get himself
going. Yeah, he's just getting himself going. He's limping a bit. So Bucks get the clearance down. They look for distance, but it doesn't go into touch. And that really sets up Sligo again, and they've got it to Gilvary, and he's sort of dominated the last 15 minutes for them on the front foot. Lovely pass picked up by Fatua. He's up to the 22. Gilvary really has made a difference in this game when he's come on, and a lovely pass infield from him there as well. He's driving the game. Now he's gone the other way, and it's a forward pass. There's been a lot of them today. The wind has probably not helped. So we're seeing Frankie Hopkins come back on for Buccaneers.
Yeah, we're struggling at the game. We're getting down into the
we're in
left-hand side of the pitch, and we're struggling to see it because all this Sligo.
Well, you don't blame them. They know they're excited. They know what's coming.
Yeah.
It is a scrum. It's to Buccaneers, but it's.
Gilvary's going to the scrum half now. Interesting. He's onto the field as the fullback, but he's now playing scrum half.
Yeah. Well, there you go, and he's acting like a scrum half now because he's telling everybody what to do, which is what scrum halves are for. And fair play. 27-12 Sligo lead here. Senior Cup final at Hamilton Park in Sligo on this dreary, windy, cold afternoon. Thankfully the rain stayed away. I don't really know how that happened. It's been thick grey cloud all afternoon, but it hasn't rained, which the weathermen or weather people got right. They said it wouldn't rain.
It's been a good game. It's been well reffed. I think that's the referees had a really good game. One or two decisions you sort of go, but other than that,
I think he's had a great game, and I think his two assistants have helped him as well.
Yeah, it's great to see actual assistant referees rather than just linesmen.
Yeah, they've done a very, very good job. And they're a vital part of the game.
Oh, that's a nice move.
Bucks trying.
Just too far down the field to be of use, really.
Yeah, they're trying now. I suppose they want the consolation score. They want to come on the front foot for these last few minutes. They're 15 points down, 27-12.
Intercept.
And there's another interception by Sligo. Gilvary's on the cusp of it, and it's touchdown. We might get a number on that.
I think it might be number 12, and I'm not quite sure. Can't quite see. But that definitely puts the final nail in the coffin.
Yes, the 12's got that. That is.
He's been super.
He has been super all day, and he deserves that. Fairly.
He's been absolutely brilliant. Like, he's a huge, absolute rock in defence, complete and utter rock. There was never any space for the Buccaneers centres to get through the middle of the field because he was smashing people left, right, and centre. The partnership between himself and the Kiwi. Fatua has been just tremendous. Been really,
defensively
really
and in attack. They've done the whole centre package.
They certainly have. That's a great win. That's a super win. When you consider that Sligo before, I think they won the Senior Cup in 1914. I think it is, or was it 1914? Hang on, let's have a quick look at my notes.
Brown's kick is on the way.
1914.
And it's over. That's another fine conversion. The referee has decided.
Game over.
There might have been a couple of seconds left, but why not just call it there? 34-12, and that is a huge win for Sligo. Buccaneers were very competitive in the first half, but the penalty try, the yellow card, the penalty try associated with that, and the try just before half time really put them on the back foot. They were 14-0 down. They went 17-0 down. We'll run through the scores again as Sligo shake hands, and commiserate with Buccaneers. Penalty try on the 30th minute made it 7-0 to Sligo. Wojcicka with a try on the 40th minute, converted by Brown. 14-0 at half time. There was a penalty by the 10. I need to look at his name to get the pronunciation right. Lezicki, who's the Argentinian with the Polish background. That was 17-0. Hughes got a try for Bucks, and that was their route back in. They were 17-5, but the intercept try, 67th minute, by number 5 Duffy, passed out. He scooped it up, went 2/3 the length of the field. Gilvari converted from in front of the post. That was 24-5. Mannion got in for a good try for Bucks in the 73rd minute, which he converted from the touchline, 24-12. A penalty for Brown in the 78th minute made it 27-12 to Sligo. And then Feely, who was one of their best players on the day, got in there probably about 3 minutes into injury time, converted by Brown, 34 points to 12. That is a big win for Sligo in a game that it was pretty tight when you look at the first half hour, but you probably felt maybe Buccaneers needed to get a score in that half hour. They had a couple of chances, they didn't take them.
They did. They were the first to get into the opposition 22. They were in there twice and failed on both occasions. And as an away team, you do need to get an early score. All that did was give the opposition, give the home team the opportunity to get back up and get themselves back into the game, which they did. Some of the tackling from Sligo was top notch, and some of the handling was absolutely superb. Then their forwards got into the game after an early breakdown in the scrum, which looked like it was going to be Bucks' day in the scrum, but they made a few substitutions. These rolling subs that happen on a fairly regular basis changed things up quite a lot. But the biggest thing for me was what I saw was a team who were playing, although they're playing in a division above Sligo, aren't playing with any confidence. And that lack of confidence gave Sligo the chance to get in on the front foot, get themselves in front, and once they got in front, they never looked like they were going to relinquish it.
No, they got better as they cranked it up. Oh, there's a dog on. He's in his Sligo colours. He's very happy, or she's very happy. That's obviously a regular attendance at this ground. You get that feeling. Everybody seems to know the dog, and the dog's absolutely delighted, and why not? Now, we've got some more rugby coming for you folks on Wednesday. We have 2 schools finals, and as we said earlier, if you were with us, but maybe you've only joined late, it's going to be Athlone, which is where Buccaneers are from, against Sligo, because the junior A final at 3:30 at Dexcom Stadium is between Marist Athlone and Sligo Grammar School, and then the senior A final at 6 o'clock is going to be between Marist Athlone and Sligo Grammar. So that continues the theme of today's game. 24th we have the Junior Cup final. That's either going to be Connemara or Castlebar taking on Buccaneers or Dunmore. That game's on tomorrow in Castlebar are away to going to Clifton, Monastery Field to take on Connemara at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and Dunmore are away to Buccaneers seconds in Dewberry Park, also at 2 o'clock. So that game is on the Sunday the 24th, and then on Sunday April the 7th it'll be the Women's Senior Cup final. That competition's still pretty much in its early stages. A lot of rugby to be played in that, but that'll also be streamed. So my thanks this afternoon to Screen Sport, who put the production on for us here on Connacht Television. And thank you to the people in Sligo for their welcome. Thank you to the weather for holding off, at least it didn't rain. And my thanks to Alan Deegan, my co-commentator. I'm William Davis. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage here today. It has finished with a full-time score of Sligo 34, Buccaneers 12. Sligo are the Senior Cup winners in Connacht.
The double. They won the double, didn't they? Won the league as well.
They did. They've done the double, and we'll see if any of the schools teams on Wednesday can do the double. So to Alan Deegan, thank you for this afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage, but from Hamilton Park in Sligo, it's good afternoon, and thank you for watching. They're going for the tap, Sligo. Here they go. They're driving forward. Sometimes these work and sometimes they don't.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's Fajitsky.
Brilliant.
That's just get the number. He's on his way.
Wow.
Oh, that is so. absolutely soccer mad, but I'll tell you, Rugby gets a good go. He's driven that, and it's straight between the posts, and you feel time for Bucks if they can get a score. If they can get committed to that little loop round move there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's got space through. Ball is bobbling up.
He's gone. He's in. Yes,
he is. Super try. That's great work. So Bucks are able to recycle it fairly quickly. Fergus Galvin involved for them. Oh, it's an intercept try and Sligo away. The interception has come. And number 5, Gary Duffy, is in under the posts. Tapping and going. It's the number 1, James Kelly. Oh, you can feel the contact from here. But it's fed out across.
That's a great pass.
That's a lovely opportunity and a lovely ahead over Buccaneers here. He's on his way. He's driven it. He's got a lot of height. The flags go up. And you can hear these last few minutes. They're 15 points down, 27-12.
Intercept.
And there's another interception by Sligo. Gilvari's on the cusp of it, and it's touchdown. We might get a number on that.
I think.
It's on the way, and it's over. That's another fine conversion. The referee